I remember you,
Mm-hmm.
Collective Peace. And I was like, where have I been? I know everybody in Detroit knew about Collective Peace
Right.
but me. And I think that was probably about 3-4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was following you guys and checking out all your shows, and then you guys part ways
Mm-hmm.
and did, your own independent work.
Right.
And so, but when I started doing some research, I'm like, you played with everybody.
Yeah.
Like, you went from Zoe to Floetry, Anthony David, Adia, the amazing Detroit Adia, our girl Adia, Eric Robeson. So you've been working with everyone. And that really speaks volumes, because everybody ain't gonna just work with anybody, especially
True.
on that level.
True. True.
In the industry. Like, you're not gonna just work with anyone. So that and it just kind of confirmed, like, you're just amazing. Of course. Like,
thank you so much.
Like,
you're so kind. Yeah, I mean, I'm still working with Idea. I'm currently her music director.
oh, nice.
Yeah, with her stuff. So I'm still working with Idea. But I mean, Collective Peace, we have such a history. Idea and Sax, I go back with them like a decade and a half. And they're, we had the band together. It was great. I cherish those memories. But we were friends and family long before that.
I can feel that.
Yeah, we'll be friends and family, long after all of this music stuff. And, Kamal and Jay High and Buddy. I go back with Buddy again, 10, 15 years. Me and his uncle, the legendary Rain Man, Detroit drummer or whatever. He's really who I credit with teaching me a lot of stuff in the music business.
Okay.
Because he's the first, I want to say, I was playing professionally before I met Rain Man, but I was doing a lot of gospel stuff.
Okay.
So it was a lot of, gospel recording artists I was working with. Rain Man was the first person that saw me and said, hey, I like what you're doing. I think I want to use you on some more secular stuff. And he introduced me to Salt and Pepper, which I worked with them for a while through, through the great Kern Brentley from Detroit, who was, music director to the Stars. He was involved in that project, but through Rain Man's company, Rain Man Entertainment, I was able to deal and work with Salt and Pepper, Eric Roberson, Algebra Blessed, Anthony David. I'm probably forgetting some people, but and then just on my own with my work with Collective Peace, that's when we did the Floetry and Zoe and Carmen Rogers and all of that. So it's just been a blessing, just literally. I would have never thought as a child having these dreams that not only would they come true, but it would be people that whose music I've been a fan of for years that I'm personal friends with. You know what I'm saying? So that's a blessing in itself, just the knowledge that I've got from them.
Yeah.
So
that's wonderful that to come full circle. And it just seemed like Detroit, the music community, is like it's really a family.
Yeah.
Like, everyone knows everyone looks out for everyone.
Right.
No matter what, we always support one another, and that's what I love so much about Detroit music. Just the community, everyone gets together and support one another, because it's, you have New York and you have Atlanta and you have LA,
right.
And like everyone in Atlanta support LA artists.
Right.
It's automatic.
Right.
And so when Detroit, is like, a lot of my friends introduced me to Collective Peace. A lot of my friends introduced me to Sax Appeal and Adia and all these wonderful, amazing artists.
Right.
But you're now with, and I noticed the group
Sias. Yes.
I love their sound.
Yes. They are amazing. They're awesome. They're good people. They have good music. I love it because it literally gives me an opportunity to kind of show the world a little bit more of DLove. Like, people know what I do, but a lot of time people see me back there with, a hybrid of percussion and the machines and electronics, and they, can wrap their head around to a certain degree what I'm doing, but a lot of people don't realize what I'm really doing back there. And Sias, affords me the opportunity to show my musicianship, not only with acoustic percussion, but through the electronics also, which is something that's near and dear to my heart. Being, self-proclaimed electronic musician, you know, with the sound that I make, but starting off acoustic and playing, you know, an actual instrument from the age of 9 on up or whatever. And that's what kind of gave me my foundation in the music industry as being a musician, you know, taking another approach to percussion or whatnot. It kind of, you know, got me ahead in the business and in the industry. But when I switched over and added the electronics that a lot of people didn't know that I could do, that kind of, you know, catapulted me to another, you know, level in the music industry and business, and, you know, afforded me the opportunity to deal with people like Science, to work with a lot of different corporate foundations, from the Ford Foundation to TEDx to, you know, you name it, Dan Gilbert and Quicken Loans, and even take that and become a technical supervisor and be over, you know, several, you know, so-called, you know, big high-profile shows and be the tech supervisor for those. So Science, I'm excited about. They have great music, they have great energy, and everybody in the band is kind of like counterpart of mine, meaning that they play an actual acoustic instrument, but they play something electronic too. Okay. So, like, you know, all 4 of us we're multifaceted. So that's what makes it so fun, because we, you know, in rehearsal when we do shows, we can kind of go anywhere. You know,
we just go with the flow. Like, that's the best shows. Like, you really, your creative juices really come out, and it really shines through a live show, because you're just going by feeling. And I think that's what sets you apart from so many other artists, is that you can do electronic, you can do acoustic, you can, and I even with your sound, Celestial, your new album that came out on October 11th, I do hear electronic, I hear techno, I hear those African drums, and so it's like I couldn't stop playing it. I was like, I gotta keep playing this, and like I can. This is at a house party. This can be at an event. This can be. I mean, you can, you know, a fashion show. Like, this sound, is so it's not familiar, but it stands out, and you want to hear more of it. You know, I really appreciate this type of music. We need more of it.
Well, thank you. I mean, those are super kind words. Thank you so much, and thanks for, you know, listening and appreciating. Yeah, it's a project that's near and dear to my heart, because as some people know and some people don't know, because I'm kind of a private person, my mother passed away 5 months ago, and her name was Celeste. So I was in the process of working on a project. So when that happened, and by me being the only child, it was a lot to deal with, not only just emotionally, but the fact that all the business aspect and handling all the business also fell on me. So in honor of her, you know, my sound, I call my sound Blue Vibes for some reason. You know, it's a vibe, but it's, you know, they say blue is supposed to make you relax and, you know, chill out or whatever. So that's why I call my sound Blue Vibes. So I entitled the project Celestial Blue, and, you know, in honor of her life, and it came out on the 11th because she passed on May the 11th. So it was literally 5 months to the day of me getting a call, which I had just talked to her like literally maybe 3 hours before she passed or whatever. She died, you know, suddenly on Mother's Day weekend of an asthma attack or whatever. But, you know, the blessing part is that, you know, we talked, and, you know, she told me how proud she was and how much she loved me. And, you know, and I was kind of like, you know, I love you too. Like, you know, what's going on? And, you know, she hadn't really been sick. You know, she's always had asthma, but I guess in her spirit, she felt the need to call and make sure, and say her last, you know, goodbyes or whatever. So, you know, the project is a labor of love. It's something I'm real proud of, something that I plan on doing some dates in and out of the country with or whatever. So, you know, just trying to kind of take Detroit, you know, having that techno background, us being the creators of techno to a certain degree, taking that Detroit techno background and electronics that Detroit are known for, and adding my own twist to it. And, you know, like you said, the Afro, the African, the Afro-Cuban, where, you know, which is my background technically, studying Afro-Cuban percussion or whatever, is kind of what gave me my, you know, helped me along my journey as a musician or whatever. But that's something that's near and dear to my heart. So just merging those different sounds, some Chicago house, Detroit techno, and then some vibe music and experimental music, and just making like a nice soup gumbo and something for, you know, everybody to kind of vibe to.
A lot of love from it.
Exactly.
You know, especially from you going deeper into it and the true meaning of this album, the inspiration behind this album. And I was just thinking, even when your mother transitioned on the 11th, and then the album coming out on the 11th, and like the 1111 is like the angel number.
Exactly.
And so, you know, that is confirmation that everything is going to be all right.
Right.
And she's always protecting you and,
Right.
and guiding you and looking out for you. And I look at this album as not only a tribute to her, but it's also healing for you.
Yes,
You
yes,
know,
yes.
that you're able to get through this and find the strength, and like hearing the music that kind of just, that's something that you and your mother share. So thank you for sharing that with us. Like, I'm honored.
My pleasure.
I'm absolutely honored. Yes.
So yeah, and percussion was her favorite instrument. She's the reason why I'm a percussionist. Technically, I asked her for a drum set when I was younger in church, and she said, you know, sweetie, I can't afford a drum set right now, but I tell you what, I'll buy you some bongos. And I was like, bongos? She, you know, set me down and explained that was her favorite instrument and what all it was and this and that. So, you know, I took those bongos to church every week, 3-4 times a week, anytime something was going, and just kept on honing my skills to, you know, I got good enough to play with some people that, you know, had a name. And then I met a master of percussion or whatever, and studied up under him for about 5 years. His name James Bongo, or James Shaw, whatever. But studied up under him. He was, you know, phenomenal musician, and he kind of taught me, you know, my style, or critiqued my style. Him, and then my mentor, Sundiata OM, who a lot of people know in the city. He's played with everybody, but, you know, a lot of people know him from Shane Park because he's a stage manager for Shane Park. But Sundiata OM was one of my mentors. He took me under his wing and taught me not just the music aspect, but the energy aspect of it. And Marlon Wild Bill Curry, another Detroit percussionist who is actually Chemistry's percussionist, he's another mentor of mine who took me under his wing. And, you know, a lot of phone calls, a lot of talks, a lot of, you know, energy. He's like a percussion father of mine. So I just been blessed just to meet good people, and just my journey just to continue to snowball effect and just add more positivity to it.
And
So,
I think we draw who we are a lot of times. And so you were born to be great. You know, the moment your mother gave you that instrument, and you're gonna do this, and like all that passion and love, you know, that you put into it, and then it's only natural to just draw in, you know, the type of people that, you know, put you under their wing.
Right.
So that's wonderful. That's, you know.
Right. So yeah, it's definitely a blessing.
So where can we find your music?
My music is available on iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play. I have a special version of my album, a deluxe edition, that's available directly through my website, which is DLove Music. DLove, and music is spelled M-U-Z-I-C, because the regular spelling was taken. So I had to get creative. Yeah, I got to get creative. So DLovemusic.com. You'll find it on there, and it's included. I've included 2 additional songs that's not on the iTunes and Spotify releases or whatever. So, but it's the same price as the iTunes. Just if you get that one from my website, you get bonus content.
Y'all hear that? Okay. And so, any upcoming shows?
Well, right now I've been kind of trying to press this project. I'm doing promotions with the project, doing that. Me and Sias have shows coming up. I don't have my calendar with me, but I've been talking to them over the last 2 weeks. Speaking of, they just released 2 new singles also. One by the name of Habitat and one by the name of Sci-Fi, and they have a video for it. Real good songs, real good 80s retro music, you know, that kind of 4 on the floor, you know, bounce stuff that puts you in a, you know, a good mood. They just released those on October the 11th, so I'm real proud of those. But I got stuff with them coming up. They have an EP coming out that I'm a part of. I did a lot of work on their new EP that's dropping. But I got shows with them coming up, shows with Idea. Several people, just, you know, just keep your eyes open.
And then, you know, and that's where the social media come in. If you, you know, if they can
everything.
look you up on social media.
DLove Music.
DLove Music. And so
Yeah.
you'll be able to look up upcoming shows. You know, make sure you follow Idea and Sias. I always want to say it the other way. Please excuse my pronunciation.
It's all good.
Yeah, make sure you follow, and you know, just keep up with all the upcoming shows. All right, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
coming
Thank you
out
for
and
having
meeting
me.
with me. Yes, absolutely. We have to bring you out again.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Please do. Please
Yes.
do. And shout out to Corey from Rock Mass Studios, a good friend of mine, one of the dopest producers in the city with one of the best facilities. Go see him and get that work.
Yes, yes. Shout out to Kamar and Chris. Y'all, my people, my fam. All right, y'all have a good night.